There's a clip from Dan Crenshaw's town hall. And remember, his town hall was the people who could go and ask questions on the town hall evidently were invited guests only. None of us. I am one of his constituents. I tried like hell. People were giving me calls about where can we go for his town halls. None of us could find it. It turned out it was just for the rest of us to watch on Facebook or YouTube, and select people were asking questions at his town hall. Nobody knows where it was or anything like that. Okay, but anyhow, you can actually infer based on what you hear at these town halls, even if the town hall is from a friendly audience. And that is exactly what happened today. There is a senior at that town hall that asked a very specific question on Social Security to Dan Crenshaw, Representative Texas 2. All right. I want to break it up this way. It starts out by asking, can we really believe that Donald Trump is going to ensure that Social Security recipients who make a certain amount don't pay taxes on Social Security? Dan Crenshaw says, I think you can forget it. For which the guy who, voted for Donald Trump says, yeah, that's what I thought. In other words, they knew the man was lying about no taxes on Social Security, and Dan Crenshaw confirmed it. And then he said, we're struggling. The older guy said, we're struggling, with the stock market falling and all that good stuff. I want you to hear how Crenshaw responded to him. And then I want to reinterpret what Crenshaw said, because you have got to not just listen to the words, but listen to the genesis of the words and behind what he actually means. Check this out, and then we'll take it on the other side.
Appreciate you representing us. President Trump talked about no tax on Social Security income. Can you kind of give us a flavor of what's really going on the congressional as it relates to Social Security income?
Yeah, don't get your hopes up on that one.
I didn't think so, but I wanted to get some idea of where we're at, because, seniors are struggling, losing money in the stock market, losing, we're living longer, we're trying to stretch our money out.
Okay, so on reconciliation, we just legally can't touch Social Security. So luckily, I don't have to give an opinion on it because we can't do it anyway. It's always been, I'll tell you the debate though, like the pros and cons. It's like on the one hand, you want to help seniors. On the other hand, well, what about everybody else? Because why are you special? So it's a tough issue when you talk about any single group all of a sudden just not paying taxes. That's, is that really fair? Is that going to be fair to my generation? Because I'll tell you what, where Social Security is going right now, it's going great for you. It's not going great for me. So, we haven't had our chance to be in the stock market like you have since 1970. So it has gone up quite a bit since then. The Social Security debate, which is going to be a major one when it goes insolvent in the next 10 years. It shouldn't be a left-right debate, although everything turns out that way. It should be a generational debate. It should be the younger generation talking to the older generation. Hey, what are you going to give and what am I going to give? Should I really retire at 67? No, I should not. I should retire later. That's what my generation should give. But both generations going to have to give something. That's the honest conversation about Social Security. But in the short term, nothing's happening to Social Security and reconciliation because legally it can't. That's part of the reconciliation rules. So no one's touching it any way, shape, or form.
First of all, Dan Crenshaw points out something that is partially true, right? The Social Security issue is sort of a generational thing. It shouldn't be, but because of the way it is spoken about, it's like pitting the old against the young, etc. It should be, but that's what they do. So he looks at the guy and says, why are you so special? I am a young guy. And, Social Security is good for you, but it's probably not good for me. So you can already see that intergenerational fight between Crenshaw and the senior citizen. Why are you so special is what Crenshaw asked one of his fellow Republicans, that you think you deserve X, Y, and Z. Forget about it. Okay. He said, after all, don't forget, you had all this time to build your money up in the stock market, Crenshaw tells the guy, right? Again, that is myopic. That is tunnel vision. Most Americans never got all those years to build some external fund plus Social Security. Most of these people are just there to survive. Some people live solely on Social Security, not because they couldn't, they were lousy with their money. They just never made enough to save. I've showed you the charts that showed that American wages have been stagnant for over 40 years. American wages have not been going up stuff relative to inflation, relative to productivity, relative to anything else. And Crenshaw is not a dumb guy. He knows that. But then he says, but remember anyway, Mr. Old Man, the current budget can't really touch Social Security because it's a reconciliation. And for us to change Social Security, it takes 60 votes. You know what? He's technically correct on that. But you know why they're not messing with Elon Musk? Elon Musk is decimating how Social Security is run. He's closing offices. He's forcing older folks, disabled folks, or anybody else to have to find an office to register for their Social Security. What, again, many people don't realize is there are sections of this country, deep rural areas, deep on the mountain in the Appalachia, deep in the rural areas of Arizona, deep in the mountains of Montana. All these places that folks won't have easy access to go ahead and get what they've earned, get the benefits that they are entitled to because they've earned it, not entitled to just because of entitlements, because that's not what it is. It's an earned benefit, right? So with Musk making it so difficult to talk to somebody on the phone, to actually get your disability or whatever it is that you're going to get, what do you think that does? That there's a certain percentage of Americans that will fall through the cracks. So without going through a 60-vote majority in the Senate, a lot of people will not get the Social Security that they're entitled to get because of the access they have to file to get their Social Security. When we talk about DOGE and efficiencies and all of that, if we're really smart about it, since we just about know where everybody lives and what everybody's Social Security is, we could automatically start sending out benefits without people have to go into offices, etc., right? But we don't. So when he speaks about your Social Security is safe because it needs, first of all, not because he wants it to be safe, but because to do any changes to Social Security requires 60 votes in the Senate, and there isn't anywhere close to 60 votes in the Senate to get that done. So the other way that Trump, Musk, and his criminals want to do it is simply to force you not to take your earned benefits by making it extraordinarily difficult for you to get it. So he lied. I mean, he technically told the truth, but as far as acting out, as far as functional, you won't be able to get or many won't be able to get their Social Security. But, within all of that he said, there is something that I want you guys to listen to in detail. He talks about the compromise between younger people and older people for Social Security. This shouldn't be a left or right issue, he says. He's right. It shouldn't be a left and right issue. This should be an issue. This is an intergenerational issue. We, the young generation, are going to have to give up something, and you guys are going to have to give up something. Remember, the something you guys are going to have to give up, he hasn't said, but it is onerous. But let me tell you, it's onerous in two directions. When he tells the younger people that they will have to retire at an older age. So instead of retiring at 67, and by the way, many can retire at 62, but instead of retiring at 67, you may have to go to 70, 71, 72. You know what that does? Man, the people who depend on Social Security, the people who will most need Social Security, are the people who work very hard, manual labor, constant labor, the people that are mostly sick, etc. And what you're telling those people is they're going to have to work maybe another 5 years, maybe another 3, whatever it is. You're taking off the life. You're taking the life out of these people, because a lot of these people will die before they collect anything after having paid into Social Security their entire lives. We need not think about Social Security as a savings account or something like that. Social Security is a pact with society where we give a a standard, a marginal standard of living, a humane standard of living to anybody who reaches retirement age. And the pact that we make with society is that you work during all of your life and in your latter years, starting at 62 for some, if you are willing to collect a little bit less money, or at 67, then at that point you can live on Social Security. If you're able to save a bit more and all of that, you can have a better life. But we at least give you a humane existence after the age of 62, up to 67. People, Crenshaw had a lot to say. And even as he didn't allow questions to come from his real constituents, but instead from select constituents, his ideology shined through. It showed who he really is. He showed who the MAGA conservatives really are. And it is something you better be cognizant of. Older folks, you're at risk. Younger folks, you're at risk. The only folks that are protected are those folks who will get Social Security that don't really need Social Security. You see, those people will live fine. So if the number goes up to 72, that's fine. That's icing on the cake. We have to understand what they're doing to us. And even if they close their town halls, once you can listen to what they're saying and read in between the lines, you've got it, baby. Read between the lines. A lie isn't necessarily what comes out of your mouth. A lie can also be what you meant by what came out of your mouth.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.